Next up, risk and fraud. So hopefully we have a shared understanding of what blockchain is and we're not speaking different languages. There have been some really, really spectacular failures in this space. And we're going to talk about some of them and kind of get to the root of what are the warning signs and what are the dangers, including new technologies that you may be using to help fight fraud in your business. First, there are some facts. 1 in 3 exchanges selling Bitcoin or blockchain tokens has been hacked since 2009. And when these exchanges are hacked, it's not the situation where you send out some letters to people knowing their personal information was stolen. It means that all of the assets were ripped off. Typically, a failure of one of these exchanges is catastrophic. It's like walking into Fort Knox, all of the gold is light as air, and you just walk out and it can never be returned. So it generally means failure for the company involved. And 10% of all of the tokens out there, close to 16 million today, have been stolen. So this is very dangerous. The security of the technology is sound, but the services built on top of it, you really have to watch out. Common attributes and red flags. If you have a service using blockchain that doesn't offer custody to you or to your business, or at least have a control in place to spread that around, that is a red flag. It doesn't mean that it's a bad deal or it couldn't possibly be a good service, but what it means is they're centralizing control of all of their depositors' money. And if somebody gets in there, it can just literally disappear. So that's the first thing to look for. Second, if it's closed source, which again is not necessarily bad at all, but if it's closed source without audits in IT and accounting and without big names behind it, you definitely should be concerned and you should not be putting a lot of value or money on a service like that at all. And then finally, if you see slow or frozen withdrawals, outages, strange complaints that things aren't working so well, sorry, your withdrawal will take a couple extra days, what that means is they've lost money and there's a bank run and you need to get out. So this happens over and over again. There are dozens of these. It's not just the 3 on the previous slide. The final one really doesn't fit in that model, but unclear consensus. If you're working with a company that's trumpeting blockchain, but you're not really clear on how they're achieving consensus, you need to ask questions. And you need to understand, is this really proof of work, proof of stake? Does this use case even need blockchain? Or is it more of a way to, say, fix regulation in banking? Which is noble, and we should do that, but you really have to understand consensus to know if what's being presented is a good idea.